I'm William, and this is the Halloween edition from the wine room in Saratoga Springs. No, it's not really. Well, it is the Halloween edition, but that's not what this light's for. This light's here is because I was thinking about Beaujolais. And Beaujolais, like quite a lot of wine regions in the world, though this one happens to be in France, is in two parts. And that's where this comes in. I want you to imagine my phone is the sun, and this is the flatlands, and here are the hills. And I want you to imagine that the sun is going to rise here, and just keep your eyes on the hills here. Can you see how the early morning sun lightens up the hillsides, and only later does it get to the flatlands? And then, as the sun sets, so once again, the light goes from the flatlands and slowly inches its way up the hillsides. And no surprises here, the wines on the hillsides get more sunshine and they taste better. Hi, I'm William. This is the Wine Room Putnam Market in Saratoga Springs, and it's November, so I'm talking about Beaujolais. And last week I was talking about how it's a schizophrenic sort of place, how you've got vineyards on the hillsides, which make really rather good wine, and vineyards on the flatlands. And it's mainly on the flatlands where the grapes are grown for Beaujolais Nouveau. And the third Thursday on every November, that's when round the world is flooded with this barely fermented grape juice. So at its height, it was something like 60 million gallons of Beaujolais Nouveau was shipped around the world just for consumers to enjoy it. Now, the challenge with it is how on earth do you ripen it and ferment it and ship it and do all of that in roughly 10 weeks, particularly on the flatlands here, because on the flatlands, because it gets less sunshine, it ripens later than it does on the hillsides. And because of that, they use commercial yeasts that made Beaujolais Nouveau taste of bubblegum. And eventually, everyone said they hated it. And that was a pity, because the wines that were coming from the hillsides were still what they always were: lovely, fresh, juicy, and ideal for this time of year. Hello, I'm William, and this is the Wine Room at Putnam Market, and I'm still talking about Beaujolais, and we're getting to Thanksgiving, and I'm going to talk about some of the wines that come from the hillsides, and there are 10 different villages that can give their name to the individual wines, and if you take grapes from all of the villages and mix them together, then you'll see it's Beaujolais Viage, and in both cases, Beaujolais Viage, or one of those villages, which could be anything like Saint-Amour or Renier, or better known Bruy and Fleury, all of these, they're going to cost you a little bit more, but they're going to taste a lot nicer. Now, we're getting close to Thanksgiving. A lot of people would recommend drinking Beaujolais at Thanksgiving, and I'm not sure I agree with them. I think what you really want for Thanksgiving dinner, with all that myriad of flavours, is something really quite powerful, and I don't think the Beaujolais would do that, but something like California Zinfandel, definitely, or even some Australian Shiraz. So where does that leave Beaujolais? I'll tell you exactly where it is. It's not Thanksgiving where Beaujolais comes into its own. It's the meal we really like. It's the turkey leftovers. With cold turkey, nothing in the whole world tastes half as good as Beaujolais. Hello, I'm William, and this is the Wine Room at Putnam Market in Saratoga Springs. I'm talking about Beaujolais. It's November. We're really close to the point where Beaujolais Nouveau is going to be released. And the thing about Beaujolais Nouveau from a producer's point of view is that you pick the grapes at the end of August and you sell the wine at the beginning of November. So the smell of Beaujolais Nouveau is really the smell of cash flow.